Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I am super excited today because it's finally time to start building the Reborn 100 Bawoo. I've been flipping through the manual at this, poring over all of it. It's so cool to finally be able to read everything, and they did a really good job translating it. Except for one part. I found one spelling error on this. On the bottom of the back, where they're listing off all his weapons, if you go over here, you can see that it does say Beam Sable instead of Beam Saber. But that's the only spelling error I've been able to find. And other than that spelling error right there, and that one sentence I saw in the box that was a little ambiguous as to the transformation, only real mistakes I found in this manual. They did a really good job translating it, and it's just so cool to be able to read all that extra information you could never see before. So, I actually learned some stuff from it too, like apparently those red things on the shield, I always thought those were thrusters for the attacker mode. Those are actually mega particle cannons, and I think that's cool, I think that's awesome, and I actually love the look of the shield and the rifle. So I'm going to break tradition, and I'm going to build the weapons first on this guy, and because of the nice way they laid out the manual for this kit, I can see right here that I can go right down to step 3, 11, 12, 13, that's the weapons, so that's where I'm going to start. Okay, here we are, step 3. So we're going to need the B runner, H runner, SB1, which is the beam sabers, PC, which is the polycaps, and also the sticker sheet for the scope on the beam rifle. So let's get all of those runners cut out of the bag and all ready, and then we can start building. I actually really like this particular marking sheet. I think there's some really cool markings on it. I usually don't care much for these, but there's actually some cool stuff here. There's some caution signs, there's some serial numbers, and I think I might actually put a few of these on because I do like how they look. So we got our beam sabers, okay. This here, and look at that shield. Just look at it. Look at all that detail. Look at how crisp and sharp and awesome everything looks. I am so excited to be finally building this kit. So this is, which runner is this? This is H. So I also need B, and I need the sticker sheet. Oh, that's nice. I just looked at the manual and I realized they actually tell you which color each runner is. That's so cool. See? I never realized how much I was missing out with in the Japanese-only manuals. This is so cool. I feel so much smarter now. Nothing more beautiful than a sticker sheet with only 2 stickers on it. Except maybe a sticker sheet with 1 sticker on it. Or possibly just no sticker sheet at all. But here we go. There's the gray parts. The rest of this is just going to set off to the side, and we can start cutting out the parts that we'll need for the rifle. So, for rifle we'll need H9, H16, H12, H17, H11, H15, and H18. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out right now. It feels like this runner is made out of that softer plastic that they use for the IBO frames, which is nice because it is actually pretty easy to denub and not quite as brittle as the standard polystyrene. I think that's everything. Is it? Yeah, looks like it. Okay. So time to denub these and then start snapping stuff together. Okay, so now I have everything cut out and denubbed, and I've also gone ahead and applied the sticker to the front of this piece just so I don't have to waste any time doing that. I'll make one note about this piece. There are 2 little rivets on it that you're not supposed to shave off or sand off, but there is a gate point going right down between them. So you do have to be very careful when you're cleaning off this piece so you don't accidentally sand those down, because those are supposed to remain there as part of the detail of the kit. But moving on from that, I guess we can go ahead and assemble the rifle now. So it's going to be this, and then we want this piece facing this way. And how does this go in? Just like this, it looks. Yep, just like that. This goes here? Yeah, that goes there. Okay. And then this actually goes into the other side, it looks like. Yeah, just like this, I think. So, wait, no. Here we go. It's this one. It's this one. And the 2 of these just get pushed together. Yep. Okay. So So this is a Reborn 100, so it won't have as complex a build as a Master Grade. So as you can see, the weapon is very similar to the weapon of a high grade, where you're just kind of clipping together two halves of a gun, although it does have some extra little bonuses, like the fact that the hose there is colored in, which is not something you would see on the high grade. So basically, the whole gimmick of the Reborn 100s is it looks like a Master Grade, but it's built like a high grade. That's probably the best way to sum them up. And that just plugs in very nicely like that. And is there anything else here? I feel like I'm missing something. Nope, that's it. So it looks like he's got a little rotating thing on his rifle. And it just in general looks awesome. Like, this is a really cool, really powerful looking beam rifle. Okay, awesome. Now we can move on to the shield. Okay, so to start off with the shield, it looks like we're using H1, 4, 5, and 10. And then it looks like we'll also need a PC3 and a B14. Okay, now clean up, and then comes building. Okay, so here's all the parts for the shield, and before I dive into the build, I am going to mention one thing about this shield, and that is that it is a big single piece of dark colored plastic, and those of you that are well versed in Gunpla will probably already know where I'm going with this, but if you don't, well, that means bad gate marks, because there are 4 very large gate connections on this kit, and because it's dark colored plastic, it does stress really easily, and it is quite challenging to remove them. I kind of did the best I could here, but especially on the back, there is a little bit of marking, and that's something you have to keep in mind, is that you want to be careful when you're cleaning that up, that you don't end up accidentally leaving a big stress mark or hole or anything like that. So here we have those awesome mega particle cannons, and those are just gonna slide right in there, and oh man, that looks so cool. I love that. And then we got this, which is gonna go right on the front here, and does this, how well is this gonna hold down? It doesn't look like it really clips in. Oh, that's solid. That's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's good. That's good. And now it's just, looks like there's going to be a poly cap in here somewhere. Okay, it actually goes on this. In here. Okay, so this is, again, a very basic weapon build, just because, you know, this is, how does this go? Does it go this way? Yes, it does. Very basic weapon build. This is, again, this is not a Master Grade. It looks like a Master Grade, but structurally, it's a high grade. But I'm honestly okay with that. I've always preferred building high grades over Master Grades, but this way you get that awesome level of detail, and you know what? This might actually become my new favorite grade. But right now I want to move on to the head and body of this guy, because I am really excited and want to build some more of this. Okay, so here we are earlier on in the manual. I'm not going to go quite to the beginning because I want to start with the head, which is actually step 2. So for this, we're going to need B20 and 21, G5 and 6, as well as G9 and H2. Also, the manual wants to make a special point of ensuring that you do not cut off that little tab there that the gate is attached to, because that's going to be important later on. And then it's just the headpiece. And okay, looks like we're done. Okay, so everything's denubbed, and once again I pre-applied the sticker for the head, so as you can see, this guy has a tiny, tiny little mono eye. This is smaller than I've seen on some high grades. This is a very little piece. And it's just going to go right on the front of this. And how is this going to turn? I don't see how this is. Does this mono eye not move? It must move somehow. I mean, like literally every kit from the last few years has had some kind of moving gimmick, but it looks like this one doesn't. Okay, that's a little disappointing. But looks like this just slides in like here, slides in here. Hopefully this won't have as big a seam line as the high grade did. Hopefully. Okay, this isn't as bad. You're still probably going to want to sort of weld that front seam though, because it is somewhat noticeable. And then we just have a little hat that goes on the front here. It's a hat. Oh, Well, that was easy. Okay. And then this just pops on the back. And we have a nice, colorful, detailed Bawoo head to put over here with the weapons as we build the torso. Okay, so now we're moving on to the torso. With the torso, because this guy transforms, it is really, really complex and uses parts from pretty much every single runner in the box. So instead of saying every single piece I'm going to use, since I don't think you guys necessarily care too much about that, so I'm just going to try to go through this as quickly as I can and just cut off all the parts I need and then get back to you guys once I've got everything cleaned up. Okay, so I have everything here sorted out by step, and as you can see there are a lot of parts here. It took a long time to denub all of this, but I finally got it all done. I did go ahead and attach that little Neo Zeon emblem to the front of the chest because that was a very, 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 very tiny piece. As you can see, if I put it next to my fingernail here, you can see it's a very small piece, very fragile. Didn't want to risk losing or breaking it, so I very carefully cleaned that up and stuck it on there right now just to avoid any potential disasters. So we're going to start over here on the left with these side pieces, which are just going to go together like this. So just like this. And does it matter which side's facing out? Yes, it does. Okay. So this side just goes together like that. That's not a super tight connection, but okay. Hopefully something will hold us together a little better. Small side goes in, it looks like. And then this drops into there. Does it? Wait, how does this align? Is this supposed to... Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's supposed to be lined up there. Or like this. And then this goes down here. Yep, okay. And then just do another one of those for the other side. So this facing this way, this facing out. And this just kind of like this. And just push it down, lock it into place, I guess. Okay, now we have these. And what are we going to do with these, you may ask? Well, we're going to attach them to this. So I'm going to take this, plug it in just like that. This should click in, and it does. And then this goes just like this. And then we have the neck. And then we have this section. And for this section, what we're going to do is we're going to grab this. We do it like this. We want this facing this way. I believe. And it'll just snap in like that. These little plastic vents go in right here. Come on. Okay, those are holding in pretty well. That's good to see. Good to see that's the case here. Okay. And now what we do is we take this and we take these polycaps here. How do these go? Oh, well, first of all, it does tell you to attach these first, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to see if I can figure out how these are. Oh, okay. Okay. They go all the way in like this. Okay, and this is supposed to be folded down, so now I need to grab the other one of those, and it just slides all the way in like that, and then folds down a little, and then from here on out, we attach this to the back. So what with that? Okay, so that'll tie those together a bit. And then this just goes down on the top, but first we need to attach this so we have somewhere to put the chest, and then just drop this on. Everything should line up, and if it doesn't, it's because something's probably not tabbed in correctly. Okay guys, so I think I figured out the problem. So do you notice the difference between these two sides? This is how you're supposed to have the polycaps. This is not. You want to have the grooves on the polycaps going like this in a sort of horizontal and vertical configuration, and you do not want the grooves that are diagonal, because while they will fit in the slots like this, when you go to press the chest on, you're going to have a little gap there, and that's not good. So you want to make sure you have the polycaps like this. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Hey, look at that. It is clipping down nice and tight, just as it should. Okay, good. So now we can move on to the chest. So for the chest slash cockpit, we're going to want to clip these two pieces together like this. And then this piece is going like this. And then we want this here like this. Then we want 8 on top of that. And this is going to need to plug in 8. Oh, just like that. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Look at that. It like telescopes out of the thing in the chest. Okay, that's so cool. That is so cool. And this is just clipping in right here. So it just clips in right here and just clips in like that. Haha, that is so cool. Okay. Now we just got all this stuff down here. Now for these pieces, these are all just basically just, you know, little kind of accessory sections, little details, little yellow sections, so it looks like... No, okay, it's this hole. So it's the hole without the tab that goes into the backpack. And then this goes on here, and these go in here, and they're solid pieces, so no seam lines, much better than the high grade in that regard, for sure. And just tab in down here, no, it just looks like it sits here. And then these little flat pieces just go like this. Tab in just like that. It's so weird seeing this without the full yellow collar because I'm used to the high grade where they had the yellow piece kind of extend down into the middle, so it's so weird seeing it without that. I don't know, did they do that on the high grade? I'll have to check. Yep, on the high grade this piece kind of extends through the middle and it looks kind of odd now that I know what it's supposed to look like, but when I first saw pictures of this it was a little weird to see it without that bit there in the middle. And I think it's this. Nope, this is for the right side, right? Because there's no left and right to these. They're just the front vents, and they just slide over like this. And now I got the vents right here. And which ones go in the front here? So these ones that go in the front. So these just clip over those little tabs. And this is why it's important to get that chest down all the way, is because if you don't, then these little pieces can't clip over like that. But once you get them clipped over, they'll probably help hold everything together, which is good. It's always nice to see little surface detail add-ons, such as these. And the tall side goes forward. Yeah, it looks like it goes forward. Okay. So tall side of the piece forward, so that would be this one. Goes forward, just like that. Okay, so there we go. There is the torso of the Bawoo. And I can just take the head and pop it on just like that. And there we go. Head and torso are complete. We also have the shield, and we have the rifle. And I think that's pretty good for a day's work. So that is all for today's video. Leave a like if you're enjoying this build. If you aren't subscribed already, click the icon on the screen right now to do so. Share this video around with your friends. And if you want to watch some other stuff, go ahead and click the thumbnails to either side of that subscribe icon. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time.